guys, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we are going to be discussing Thrawn Ascendancy, the Greater Good. Now this is the second book in the Thrawn Ascendancy series, and if we were to look at all of Timothy Zahn's current Thrawn books that are currently canon, it's the fifth book in the entire Thrawn series. Now this does take place before Thrawn, and after some parts of Thrawn alliances, so it's kind of in a middle area. We're kind of more exploring the Chiss Ascendancy and learning about their family system and learning about basically what Thrawn was like in the Chiss Ascendancy. Really, a lot does happen in this book, but we'll see where it's going at the next book, which should be coming out, I think, towards the end of the year, maybe in September. I can't remember exactly. But this book altogether was fairly good. I did enjoy Victory's Price a lot better, and I think I enjoyed Chaos Rising more than this book, from what I remember. There's an introduction of what's going to be the main antagonist of the third book, also kind of the main antagonist of this entire series, which is Jixtus, who is a Grisk that is trying to basically force the Chiss Ascendancy into civil war so they're ripe for the picking. And from what we could tell from the other Thrawn trilogy, that's most likely going to happen. So Greater Good explores the chaos, and basically the whole plot is that there are these, on Thrawn's end, there's these seemingly random events happening that is truly being pulled strings from Jixtus. They're basically trying to finish up the fallout from the last book and find these pirates that were being blamed for certain things going on, but it was actually Jixtus pulling strings. The main story, as I like to see it, I mean, that's part of the main story, or one main story. There's another main story going on that is about these people called the Egg Boy, or Egg Buoy, something like that. A lot of the alien names created in this are very hard to say, especially the Chiss names are very hard to say their full names. But basically, it's just the Egg Boy kind of show up on a Chiss-owned planet and start selling spices and selling these little brooches and stuff like that. It turns out the brooches are made of a very rare and expensive material that helps creating ships, or in creating Chiss ships and stuff like that. So I need to get into Chiss politics really quick, so for those who haven't read Chaos Rising or The Greater Good, can understand this. So there are 9 ruling families of the Chiss. Thrawn is part of one of the ruling families. I'm not going to list them all out. But there's also 40 great families. Now, the family positions can fluctuate. There could be 10 ruling families. There could be 20 great families and stuff like that. So the great families, if you want to look at it in our government system, the ruling families are basically like the United States, Washington, D.C., president, vice president, representatives, stuff like that. And the great families are like the governors and stuff like that. It's not truly how that works. It's just in how the system pulls, or how the system pulls on favorites and everything like that. The ruling families have a larger say, and there's a bunch of different like alliances and rivalries going on in between the families. Now, we're led to believe that only one of the greater families, known as the Zodlak family, are learning about this mineral, or it's called Nyx, the Nyx mines and everything like that, throughout the majority of the book. and that they're going to go in there and cause some sort of trouble trying to steal the mine out from some random alien planet. And then we find out that actually 3 other families that have rivalries with them, and not only that, they also have alliances with 9 ruling family, or one of the 9 ruling families. They also have rivalries with other 9 ruling families, are all called to the same spot at the same time in what's considered a family emergency. And the whole point of that was to start a civil war between those 3 families, which would then also bring in most of the other 40 and basically all of the ruling 9. In that, Thrawn figures it out just through some Sherlock Holmes stuff, and also one of the farmers of the Zodlai family signs off a brooch, and Thrawn realizes it is for that planet and goes and intervenes in a pretty cool way that I'm not going to get into because it's major spoilers. I did spoil some stuff though, but that's a major spoiler on that. But we are also introduced to this concept of a group of people that are able to become one with the Force and are hoping to do that. And it's not called the Force in this. I will say most Star Wars terms are not used in this book series just because it's in the unknown regions, technically, or as this is calling it, the chaos. And in that, they, like, Force users are called, or little kids called Skywalkers, that it fades away. They're also called Pathfinders and stuff like that. Anybody that uses the Force is able to basically go through hyperspace. And like I was mentioning with the chaos and stuff like that. But as I was saying, these people are able to become one with the Force, and they're hoping to heal their planet that had a civil war happen on it. And spoiler here, the planet that had the Civil War was orchestrated, and I figured this out later on. It really feels like something you should know ahead, like as you're reading the book, but I figured out a little later than most people probably did that this planet was the planet that had the mine on it. So the Civil War was fake. Or not, it was a real civil war, but the intentions were fake, brought on by logistics and stuff like that. Or, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. And it caused the Civil War to happen, which obviously is what he's also trying to do with the Chiss. It seems that the Grisks force a civil war so they can reap the benefit of what's ever left behind. And that's basically what I'm going to say about the book, because there is still, I know I spoiled some stuff, but there's still a lot of good stuff in the book. So make sure that you guys pick up Thrawn Ascendancy, The Greater Good. You should also pick up Chaos Rising, and also pick up Thrawn, Thrawn Treason, and Thrawn Alliances. Not in that order, because Alliances comes before Treason, but still check that out because he's an interesting character, and it's an interesting concept, and Timothy Zahn is a... And let's rank this book. So I give Thrawn Ascendancy, The Greater Good, out of 10. I give it a 8 out of 10. Really great. It was great to see characters from the first book coming back and stuff like that. I still think one of my favorites has to be just the relationship between Thalius and Sherry. So yeah, make sure you guys check it out. And it's that Nerd Ryan telling you, we're all Jedi Masters.